Hello there and welcome to the News of 4 with me, Sabena Izuku. Governor Babangida Aliyu of Niger State took a swipe at the Adamu Muazu-led National Working Committee, NWC, of the People's Democratic Party for holding on to power after leading the party to a disastrous defeat in the last general elections in the country, saying that the best and most civilized thing was to throw in the towel. Aliyu, who spoke at the commissioning of the multi-billion naira Shiroro Bridge linking Niger and Kaduna State, however, said that the loss suffered by the party at the presidential level and in most states, coupled with the massive defection of some members to the All Progressive Congress, APC, were not enough reasons for him to dump the party. Also, his Jigawa State counterpart, Sule Lamido, who spoke on the occasion, said that he would not leave the PDP, which he was a foundation member for the tenant, saying that defection was not the answer to such defeats in a democracy. Ali too, however, warned that if Muazu and his team refuse to throw in the towel now, the actual change will come in March 26th, when the new leaders will be elected at the National Convention of the party. The All Progressive Congress has accused Niger Governor Babangida Aliyu and his Jigawa counterpart Sule Lamido of getting stuck in the pre-election mode, urging them to wake up to the reality that the electioneering campaign is over and it is for the nation building. In a statement issued in Lagos by its National Publicity Secretary La Mohammed, the party described the duo's unprovoked vituperation against the APC and the president-elect as uncouth, ill-intentioned and in bad faith. The statement reads that two governors have forgotten even the role they played in seeking the scuttle that changed the Nigerians so much desired and for which they voted. It stated that Governor Aliyu and Lamido are so bitter and traumatized that they have forgotten it was their party, the PDP, had divided Nigeria along its ethnic, religious and regional fault lines. It assured Nigerians that the APC would redeem its campaign promises irrespective of the state of the economy, saying, however, the change that Nigerians have voted for will not come overnight, but through a gradual, painstaking and consistent act of good governance, discipline and perseverance. Kwara North Grassroots Solidarity Forum, which comprises of the entire members of Yoruba non-speaking people in Kwara North and its suburbs of the Kwara Central, has enlisted its support for the Senate President ambition of Senator Bukola Saraki, describing him as one of the pillars that sustained the present democracy in Nigeria. The clamor for Saraki, which is contained in the press statement issued by his president, Indanusa Kwawu Adam, which was made available to journalists in Lorry, also stated that in the interest of fairness and justice, the new PDP faction of APC, in which Senator Bukola Saraki is a strong factor, should be allowed to fill in the position of the Senate President, since the CPC and the ACN have occupied the position of President and Vice President respectively. The forum president, who is also the Assistant Director of Youth, Mandate 2015, also reminded Nigerians how Senator Bukola Saraki greatly contributed to the nation building as one among the pillars that sustained Nigeria during and after the incapacitation of late Nigerian President Umaru Yar'Adua. Members of the All Progressive Congress in Kaduna State House of Assembly have threatened to impeach Governor Mukhtar Yeru if he continues what they described as last-minute looting. The APC lawmakers specifically accused the governor of attempting to disperse Sherpa funds in a reckless manner. They issued the impeachment threat at the emergency news conference in Kaduna State. Amina Anebi has more in this report and is presented from our studio.
It's a few weeks to the end of the tenure of the Kaduna governor, but the APC caucus of the House of Assembly is prepared to ease him out of office before May the 29th. Led by Deputy Minority Leader Aminu Shagari, the lawmakers claim that the governor is bent on indulging in last-minute looting and squandering of public funds. They are querying why the outgoing government is in a rush to appropriate and disburse Sherpa funds for the 23 local government areas that were unused.
A resolution was made during an executive session that the funds should not be appropriated and disbursed. We, the concerned members of the Kaduna State House of Assembly, hereby wish to state categorically that we are not a party and will not be a party to such financial recklessness.
The lawmakers are insisting that the funds cannot be disbursed within the last 2 weeks of the life of the present administration.
Our main concern is that the funds should remain, not that we want the funds to remain because we don't want people to enjoy the Shofi funds, but we want the due process, diligent due process to be followed.
The crux of the matter is a request for appropriation of about 2.7 billion naira Shofi funds that the state government submitted to the legislators. APC lawmakers view the request as an attempt to indulge in financial recklessness and are bent on frustrating the demand. But it remains to be seen if they can muster enough support in the PDP-dominated House to commence impeachment proceedings against Governor Yero.
The Plateau State Governor-elect Simon Lalong has inaugurated 160-member transition committee with the charge for them to be patriotic and carry out their responsibilities. Lalong noted that the large number of committee members is deliberate and urged them not to be confrontational in their approach while carrying out their duties. The governor-elect also thanked all those who led the Congress to victory, most especially the campaign directors. Responding on behalf of the members, Chairman of the Transition Committee, Plateau State Deputy Governor-elect Sonny Yonden, appealed to members to work selflessly, noting that their assignment is time-bound. Yoden assured them that they will make recommendations that will guard the incoming administration. Earlier, the All Progressive Congress chairman in Plateau State, Lateb Dambang, while presenting the transition committee members of the governor-elect, announced that the intentions of the campaign organization is to give way to the transition committee to operate. The Catholic Archbishop of Jos Archdiocese, who is also the chairman of the Catholic Bishop in Nigeria, Ignatius Kaigama, has called on Plateau ethnic nationalities to embrace peace and live with one another irrespective of their tribes or religious differences. Bishop Kaigama made this passionate appeal in Riom local government area of the state during the flag-off distribution of relief materials to the internally displaced persons in Riom local government area of the Social Justice and Human Development Initiative in collaboration with Christian Aid Plateau State. Kaigama added by saying that church assistance was necessary because of the suffering of the people who are going through, and hence there is need to support the brethren to impact into their lives. The items distributed include maize, rice, beans, blanket, disinfectant, mosquito net, among others. The perennial community clashes and insurgents attacks has thrown up thousands of internally displaced persons who are in dire need in Plateau State. Maiduguri residents on Saturday appealed to the management of banks operating in the city to restock their automated teller machine to allow more residents to access their money when in need. The resident appeal followed a 24-hour curfew imposed on the state capital by 7th Division of the Nigerian Army after Wednesday 4th Boko Haram attack. They said most of the bank's ATM in the town were not dispensing cash to customers, a situation which they said exposed many to untold hardship. They then urged banks in the state to restore their ATM to reduce the people's hardship. Meanwhile, 7th Division of the Nigerian Army had on Saturday relaxed the curfew imposed on the state capital. The statement issued by the spokesman of the Army, Colonel Tucker Gusau, stated that the curfew was now from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. until further notice. Mate, a town in the north of Borno State, again fell into the hands of Boko Haram terrorists on Fridays, security sources have revealed. One of the sources explained that the terrorists who fled from Sambisa Forest camps of the outlawed sect and the other strongholds across the Borno State had regrouped in Mate, a town north of Maiduguri, the state capital. The Deputy Governor of Borno State, Zana Mustafa, also confirmed the recapture of Mate by Boko Haram terrorists during a press conference in Maiduguri on Friday. Mustafa also alleged that 600 women and girls had been dispatched by Boko Haram terrorists as suicide bombers, which the aim of causing multiple explosions in Maiduguri. The deputy governor, who had to cut short his official engagements in Abuja to attend the situation in the state, said residents must be patient with the security agencies in spite of the attendance hardship caused by the dusk to dawn curfew. Away from that, the update of the government officials have taken journalists on a guided tour of the office of the Education Ministry, which was on Thursday gutted by fire. This, they admit, is to dispel claims in some sections of the media that the fire began from the accounts section of the ministry. The tour, however, showed that aside from the Education Ministry, a part of the office of the Ministry of Police Affairs are also located on the 5th floor, was affected. Helen Opara Chikunwenike has more in this report, which is presented from our studio.
This is the cause, but all we know, it emanated from an electrical cable. We only saw smoke coming out from a trunket of the cables, where all the cables transmitting light in this building are warehoused. That is where the fire started on the 6th floor.
Certainly, we share the same building, and he has already explained to you that the fire started from the cable box, that is the cable route. So the fire followed the cable routing up to the 11th floor. We are on the 11th floor. It's natural.
So how many offices were affected?
No office was affected.
The outgoing government has ruled out a long list of achievements in the education sector, which insists in the incoming administration can easily build on. It lists the establishment of 12 federal universities, 20 private universities, and over 100 Almajiri schools in northern Nigeria as some of the good work it will be handing over to the Buhari administration. The Education Minister, Ibrahim Shekaro, maintained that Jonathan administration is leaving a legacy of a stable education sector for the incoming president. He spoke at the forum where he outlined the achievements of the outgoing government from 2011 to 2015. The report.
It is a yearly event among ministries and government agencies to reel out the achievements of the outgoing year. But this occasion is for the scorecard of Jonathan administration in the education sector between 2011 and 2015. Education Minister Ibrahim Shekarau noted that federal government provided enough funds through the Tertiary Education Trust Fund for projects in various institutions of higher learning in the country. He said 4 new polytechnic builds in the country cost the government 15 billion naira.
Our 2014 annual report will also provide you with information on some of the key activities in the sector. I want to use this opportunity to specially appreciate our honorable commissioners of education from all the 36 states of the Federation and the Education Secretary of the Federal Capital Territory. They have been worthy partners of the Federal Ministry in the drive to reposition the education sector.
Stakeholders agreed that the achievements recorded in the sector should be sustained. They also demanded higher budgetary provision for better performance.
We, as the State Commissioners for Education, have enjoyed very good working relationship with the Federal Ministry of Education. For a few of us who have been serving in the last 7 years, we have seen a tremendous improvement towards bringing the state on board on policy development and policy implementation in the education sector.
We will use the opportunity to see how we can advise executive on how to improve, and for us in the National Assembly to look at legislative requirement from all the sector to ensure that we give in the best legislation that will empower the ministry to continue to do the best for the sector and for Nigerian students.
The outgoing government is insisting that on the strength of its achievements in the last 4 years, the incoming government will be inheriting a stable education sector.
We'll take a short break, and when we return, the news of 4 continues. To stay with us.
One continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united with similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on CoreTV News.
Welcome back to the news. For more information, you can reach us on any of our social media platforms, and that's on facebook.com/CoreTV News, and on our Twitter handle @CoreTV News NG. For news updates and other programs, you can stream us live on youtube.com/CoreTV Space and the news. President-elect Muhammadu Buhari has cautioned his supporters who are planning to either trek or hitch a ride to Abuja to meet him to desist from such act. This, according to him, is because May 29th is just around the corner and there is need for him to concentrate on the task of fixing the nation. Buhari said this in a message to a group of 11 youths who rode on bicycle from his hometown Daura to meet him at Abuja. The president-elect message was delivered by one of his aides.
Somebody that has nothing to do. They try to innovate whatever it is they do to celebrate. It started with celebrating the victory at their hometown. And I think once somebody started this idea of trekking from Lagos to here, quite a number of youth also emulated him. So to me, it's not something wrong with the youth. It shows to us clearly that the youth have nothing to do. And it also shows that they are really passionate about the new incoming administration. And I do hope that, like the MB said, this should be sufficient. They have shown their love, and they have shown their eagerness for the new government to come in. Let them now please stop this and embark on something new. I hope that, they will start. Rains are here now. They have a lot of work to do. We'll go back to the farm and start doing something that is more positive. Otherwise, this will continue to be endless.
And away from that, Nollywood actress Omotola Ajalade has made her feelings known about people trekking for politicians. According to her tweets, she says youths shouldn't trek away their future, but instead they should bring awareness to their suffering flights. Responding to this, the young man who is embarking on a trek from Abuja to Otueke, Bayelsa State, the hometown of Goodluck Jonathan, Oladele John Nihi, blasted back with several messages. He said that he is happily married, expecting a second child, lives in a good apartment, and drives a good car, but is trekking for Goodluck Jonathan because he truly deserves it. He also stated that if Omotola thinks trekking for Goodluck Jonathan is silly and a sign of poverty, she should relocate to Burundi and have a feel of what Jonathan has averted in Nigeria. The United Kingdom Charity Commission says it has received many complaints about Olusegun Obasanjo Foundation in London concerning allegations of financial misconduct and conflicts of interest. UKCC spokesperson Sarah Hitchens said that the Commission has also started a broad investigation into the matters because the foundation have violated its regulatory standards. Meanwhile, the Commission refused to comment on any action taken against recently sacked London-based Chief Executive Officer of the foundation, Anne Welsh, on allegations of money laundering. The Chief of Staff to former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Victor Durodola said and made it known that Welsh was relieved of her duties due to allegations of money laundering activities. It was earlier reported that a video footage was obtained which showed that Welsh was allegedly involved in plotting a $4.9 million, that's about a 980 million naira scheme to plot the Ebola virus disease strategy in West Africa through helping a group of Lebanese businessmen who wished to donate money to the Obasanjo Foundation for some work in Sierra Leone. Video evidence had also showed that the group agreed to give her the 30%, which was $90,000, that's about 180 million naira, and detailed how the money will be transferred via a Nigerian bank. Osun State Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Ganiyu Olaoluwa, has been asked to retract and tender a reserve apology within 7 days of the claim that one of his sons of the governor, Rafael Bashola Abdul Kabir, was arrested for money laundering at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. The solicitor of Abdul Kabir, Ajibola Bashiru, in a letter addressed to the PDP chairman, said that a retraction and apology must be done in and at least 2 national dailies with wide circulation, adding that failure to publish the said retractions with an apology within the said period may leave his client with no alternative options than to seek legal redress with its attendant consequences, while stating that his client was never arrested at the Murtala Mohammed Airport for the offense of money laundering. Barrister Bashiru Ajibola noted that his client was nowhere near the Murtala Mohammed International Airport and he was not arrested at the airport or anywhere in the country at any time whatsoever. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arraigned a suspected female hacker before a Lagos State High Court on a 4-count charge bordering on conspiracy and obtaining money laundering under false pretense. 22-year-old Mary Ozala was said to have collaborated with 3 others to hack into an email account of one Ronke Okewale and fraudulently defrauded her of 2 million naira. When the charge was read to the defendants in court, she pleaded not guilty. Prosecution counsel Oluwatoyin Owondundi subsequently pushed for the court to fix a date for trial and also to remand the defendant in prison custody pending trial. But the defense counsel, Chibuzo Nwakobi, prayed the court for a short adjournment to allow him file an application for bail for his client. Trial judge Justice Kudira Joseph subsequently ordered that the defendant remanded in EFCC custody pending determination of the bail application. The case was adjourned to the 12th of October 2015. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has paraded 2 men who allegedly duped a number of job seekers with the claim of getting them employed as civil defense personnel. The man was said to have made about 6 million naira from the job scam in Abuja alone before the arrest, while the suspect insisted that they had nothing to do with job backtracking. Paisemo has more.
This is Ibrahim Usman. He is 35 years old. He is one of the suspects arrested for job racketeering in Abuja. Until now, he works with a Sharia court in Gwagwalada, Abuja.
Beg him for the civil defense work. Then he said he will assist me with my people. I call my people from village. Everybody should come out. I see one opportunity is on the ground. Then I start to call them. They start to bring the money. Some 100, some 200, some 80. They start to put the money. I send money over 6 million to him. Then he carried all of us. He allowed me to call my people from my village. All of them went to Mina, do the documentation there. From there, one of my brother carried the letter, went to Gwagwalada command to go and confirm whether the letter is true.
Security operatives say he had made up to 6 million naira from job seekers keen on joining the NSC-DC.
And decided to set up their own employment racketeering by forging my signature to give employment to some people. The sum of 6 million has been collected by them, and they even do documentation. All these evidences were found in their house on the tip-off of a good Samaritan who gave us the information. They will be prosecuted accordingly. But for the purpose of the public to know that civil defense will not compromise, we have no reason at all to put burden on innocent citizens of this country in the name of recruitment.
They allegedly took their victims to Mina to collect appointment letters before they were arrested. The suspects, however, did not admit to the crime they were accused of.
I never have any hand about this business. I just stay with this Ibrahim Usman house before they come search his own house. I was the person that they met him at home before they carry me.
In spite of their denial, the NSCDC plans to charge the suspects to appear in court next week. Pierre Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
3 women, including a female lecturer of the Ekiti State University, Sade Alade, were kidnapped in Ekiti State on Friday afternoon by unknown gunmen. The women were kidnapped with their husbands and an unspecified number of children along Igbosin Road while traveling in a Toyota RAV4 Sport utility vehicle to Ibadan, Oyo State for a wedding. It was gathered that the captors later dropped the men and the children while the women were driven away in the car after collecting their phones and other valuables from the victims. The husbands and the children were said to be wailing profusely until some sympathizers came to their aid. The State Police Public Relations Officer Alberto Adeyemi confirmed the incident. The whereabouts of the women remained unknown until contact had not been established with the families as of the present time. Meanwhile, Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose has written the Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, calling for his intervention to stem the spate of kidnappings that had hit the state in the last few weeks. In May 15, a letter signed by the governor, he requested the IG's special intervention in removing the fear in the minds of the people of the state were experiencing following numerous cases of abduction of innocent people. Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, Professor Isaac Adewale, has reacted to reports concerning the deaths of 200-level students of the institution who died during a football match last week. Addressing journalists at the Senate chambers of the institution, Vice Chairman disclosed that they could not perform an autopsy to ascertain the cause of the death and the parents of the disease. Mayowa Alaran demanded for the corpse, which has since been buried according to the Islamic rites. The VC then promised a series of measures would be taken to further safeguard the lives of students on campus. He announced the establishment of Students' Health Service within the hostel, where management of the University of Ibadan will commence annual medical screening of all students and staff of the institution. Adewale added that the entire university community was sad over the death of Mayowa Alaran, who was a 200-level student of health education. The professor charged the student not to incubate complaints for days, but report any unusual observation about their health status instantly to avoid unnecessary loss of productive minds. The feud between the management and the staff of the Federal Medical Center took a new dimension when hundreds of staffs of the medical center took to the streets of Owerri, the Imo State capital. The protesting staff, who gathered under 3 different unions: National Union of Allied and Health Professionals, Medical and Health Workers, Union of Nigeria, and National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, FMC chapter, alleged that the personal funds released by the Accountant General of the Federation in 2014 for the 2013-2014 promotions, arrears meant for workers' welfare, was veered into the capital projects into the center, knowing fully well that the environment is a serious offense in the Nigerian constitution. They also accused her of victimizing staffs who did not support her proposal for privatizing some departments and units in the center. While explaining to newsmen the cause of their grievances, the chairman of the FMC chapter of the National Union of Allied and Health Professionals, Clifford Ezeoku, accused the medical director of financial misappropriation, victimization, and high-handedness and non-payment of staff promotional arrears, which has been approved by the federal government. They also advised that she resigns her job honorably, adding that, as at the time of the protest, members of the various unions have embarked on an indefinite strike until the federal government intervenes in the matter. We'll take another break, and when we return, there'll be more stories for you. Don't go away.
Women share the most amazing thoughts on national issues, and they do it passionately.
For most men that are educated, that are exposed, will see nothing to it.
The population and the level of poverty made me cry. No infrastructural development whatsoever. And you tell me Lagos is working?
That was an accident, and it was a one-off thing. Other than that, there has never been any situation in Nigeria where a Nigerian attacked anybody just because of where they came from.
Sharing the adorable word of women in politics every week, only on CoreTV News.
Welcome back to the news. An Egyptian court has sentenced former President Mohamed Morsi to death for a mass prison break in 2011. The court ruled on Saturday that the sentencing of Morsi and 105 others will be referred to the Grand Mufti, the highest religious authority in Egypt, for confirmation. Many of those sentenced were tried in absentia, including Yusuf al-Qaradawi, an influential Islamic scholar based in Qatar. The court will pronounce its final decision on the 2nd of June, and Morsi, who was overthrown by the army in 2013 amid mass protests against his government, was spared the death sentence at the first of the two trials that concluded on Thursday, in which the court advised death sentence for 16 defendants on espionage charges. A jury has sentenced Boston boxer Dushkoshkar Sarneev to the death penalty. After 14 hours of deliberation, the jury of 5 men and 7 women came to its decision. 3 people were killed and 260 injured when Sarneev and his brother placed bomb on the finish line of the Boston Marathon in 2013. Jury made findings on the 12 factors that will support the death penalty and 21 mitigating factors. His defense said support the decision of life in prison. 7 of 30 charges. Sarneev, 21, was convicted of allow the possibilities of the death penalty. Islamic State militants have seized control of the main government building in western Iraqi city of Ramadi. They set off a co-coordinated series of as many as 6 car bombs outside the compounds that houses the city's main police station and governor's office. At least 50 security personnel are reported to have been taken hostage. Ramadi is the capital of Iraq's largest province, Anbar, and has been heavily fought over by ISIS and Iraqi troops. And that's it on the news for. Do join us at the top of the hour for more. I am Sabina Izoku, and thank you very much indeed for watching.